If you're ready for more love in the workplace, say more love. More love. You're not ready. Okay, it's all right. That's okay, but more love, healthy people, great impact. That's heartsy. So the question is, what does love feel like in the workplace? You ever worked in the workplace before? You like love, don't you? Yes. Yeah, I know you do. These companies on the screen, they reflect love. Some we have worked with, some we haven't. But what we want to really share with you is that the definition of love in the workplace is really simple. That it's the sum of the policies, communications, and actions that create a safe work environment. That feels like love, doesn't it? What we found in a 2023 quantitative study of over 250 leaders, nonprofit and for-profit leaders, is that love increases performance by more than 16%. So what's the problem? Well, workplace culture is failing business. That's the problem. And I think we can all agree to that. This is what we know. We know that employees feel wellness at only a level of 26%. That's a recent study, 26%. And cooperatively, we also know that applied learning only actually attributes to employees at 30%. What does that mean? It means when you leave for the day, you only really take 30% of what you heard and learned. That's a problem. So why is this a problem? It's a problem because 17% of employees in America are actively disengaged. Now that doesn't count the other 30% of you in here that are kind of in the middle of the road. Yeah, I'm on the fence a little bit. What we know is that a Gallup study has revealed that U.S. companies spend close to $500 billion annually on employee disengagement. They lose that. They lose those funds. And globally, $8.8 trillion. Spending upwards of billions of dollars on wellness and learning development programs that are not working for our workforce in America and globally. I know what you're thinking. Love isn't going to change this, Glenn. I'm telling you that love is going to change this, actually. And I know you're thinking that capitalism works. I'm not trying to change capitalism. We're trying to transform the culture of care and love in the workplace. I'm Dr. Glenn Thomas. I am the founder of heartsy Workplace Solutions, but also a recovering, unloving, and unhealthy leader. If you're unhealthy and unloving and recovering, raise your hand. That's okay. I'm not going to look at you in the eyes. We've published over 6 books since we started this experience in 2018. We're publishing number 7 in June, Love Data, about the facts and the data that love drives high-performing organizations. In 2013, we started this journey as an unloving and unhealthy leader myself at Target Retail, where I was the store leader, and we took a team that was unloving and unhealthy to a top store in the company. That's when we knew that we had something. So, what's our solution? Our solution is simple. The heartsy Workplace Solution allows for our customers to fully integrate their desire to create safe, loving workplaces for the 3 components that matter the most in business: systems, talent, and culture. We actually allow you to go to getheartsy.com. You fill out our Heartsy Index assessment. It's proprietary. Thank you very much. And you feed us the data because we're not giving you all the answers. We're asking the right questions. We then dig into your operations technologies, your policies, your performance metrics, your surveys, your communications, your rewards, your wellness platforms, and we actually design a place for you to go anytime you're ready to ensure that your workplace is serving your greatest asset, your people. So, over the past 8 years, we served over 40 customers, over 5,000 leaders with a 94% satisfaction rating, and we have generated over $500,000. That's bootstrapping. We started with a minimal viable product. Learning and development platforms where they were online and in person, as well as our online proprietary assessments. We delved into policy design, team culture, business operations, and then we moved forward and grew to, as of last month, our advanced product, e-leadership assessments, our e-learning and development, and our new heartsy software platform with the social media launch on March 24th, 2025. Starting in May 2025, all the way to February 2026, we will design our built-out SaaS product, AI-powered, gamification, learning and development, wellness, GIS, total rewards, and business performance. I know what you're thinking. Glenn, give it to me right now. Go to heartsy.com. You can get a demo. Our business model is pretty simple. 90% of our revenue is recurring. It's membership revenue model fixed, meaning you work with us, it's annual subscription paid out monthly. Customer growth year over year is 30%, which is a standard for a SaaS product. We start you off as a free member because we want you to get all the bells and whistles starting out in the beginning so that you can upgrade to our executive member or upgrade to our corporate membership. Our targets are very simple. Small business enterprises. If you have between 11 and 500 employees, we want you as a customer. If you generate $1 million to $10 million, we want you as a customer. And if you are in North America and the United Kingdom, we want you as a customer. And if you have an active social media platform, what do? I love it. You're listening. Our serviceable, obtainable market, 87,000 businesses that are generating over $200 billion. We believe that our projections for this year, monthly users, we will bring in 3,000 members at our partner member free subscription. We will convert them at 30% rate at $3.99, which is again our executive membership for a length of 5 months on average, generating us $1.8 million in this year. We will use our coming soon partnership with one of the largest healthcare suppliers in the country to know that we're going to cross partnership with them as a consultancy partner as we are their SaaS product partner. Our investment, we're asking $125,000 for software development, $75,000 for our patents and trademarks, including our trademarks that we already have, obviously. We want you to go to heartsy.com to book a demo, join free our platform so you can begin to talk about love in the workplace and how we're going to change the dynamic of employees and love moving forward. Thank you. All right.
Awesome. Well, first of all, clearly you're a dynamic presenter. You reel me in, so always love that. I think two of the biggest traits we look for in someone leading a company is passion and expertise, and I think you showcase both of those. The other one's character, but it takes a little bit longer to find out exactly what your character's like. So, I mean, one of the biggest questions that I have is like, conceptually, let's just use love, because that seems to be the word of the day here. It strikes me as like a really nebulous, unquantifiable thing. Like when you point to the companies, when you showcase, like when you say Patagonia, Southwest, et cetera, like I understand that they have these exceptionally strong cultures built on like great values. But then if I'm like, I want to like extract that and bring that in-house, and then I want to be able to go to my head of HR or whoever, and I want to tell them how we're going to change our culture. Like, how do you quantify and measure that in like really, really like straightforward ways?
Sure. So the data is the data that most of us don't know about, right? The data is that we know that high-performing organizations actually outperform their counterparts significantly based on their culture, not based on their product or their service. Those are the facts. That's my research for the past 10 years. That's undisputable. And so what we do is we look at the data around wellness, we look at the data around performance, and we just associate the facts with that. So it may be nebulous in one sense, but when the data is presented, we didn't generate over $500,000 in the last 7 years just by talking about love. We generated it through clients such as Goodwill, Toyota Manufacturing, Advocate Health, Novant Health, Catch a Fire, because they all know that culture drives their impact and their outcomes. That's why.
So walk me through the product a little bit more, because I was having a little bit of a hard time understanding exactly the product.
Sure. You go to getheartsy.com, you click on the button, you fill out the index, which is our proprietary index. It gives us information. And what we do is now, currently, we go between manual and automation of basically performing data analytics, and then coming back to you with a demo of what your dashboard could look like based on the metrics that you need in those categories of systems, talent, and culture. Every business has those modules within their business. They may not be outlined that way. Once we do that, we're able to create you an actual platform that you're able to utilize to input data and receive data analytics in real time. But in addition to that, we also have an LMS that's associated with that. Plus our partner, hopefully we're gonna ink this deal here in the next 30 days. A consultancy partner now comes in, and where we used to do consultancy, we have now partnered with a larger organization. They generate over $1.5 billion in gross revenue. They know what they're doing in consultancy, and we share our product with them. They share their consultancy with us. Now we have access to their portfolio. That's another part of our strategy of targeted marketing to our clients as well. It's as simple as that. Our SaaS product, fast forward though, will automate all of that action. You fill out your index, it goes into the system, it automates and generates how your platform should look for you as a customer.
One thing I'd say is like there's probably a 3 or 4 part visual that you could put up that walks me through the product.
Yeah.
And then I can go, oh, okay, like I get
Yeah.
that, right? Sometimes,
100%.
yeah. And then just the last thing, and then I'll hand it off here. So you think you'll generate $1.8 million this year?
No, you will.
Okay.
Okay.
And how much will you earn off of that at the bottom line?
We're gonna take around 70% of it.
So what do you need $200K for? Like why
It fast tracks us.
But why take on the headache of investors and all that other kind of stuff?
It's not a headache when we know we're going to actually deliver on the commitment, right? So as well as you didn't ask how much of the equity that we were providing either, right? So you understand what I'm saying? We asked for do you want to know?
Yeah.
We're going to offer 20% of equity though. We're going to offer 20% equity because of this. It is a very targeted, specific market. We know that we're playing not in the Fortune 500 space. We don't want to play that space. We're playing in the SBE space, mission-led SBEs, and they're generating over $11 trillion in gross revenues globally. It's a no-brainer for us, but they also struggle the most with LMSs, cultures, and wellness initiatives that actually impact and influence the outcomes of their teams. So we have a very specific product delivery that you're not going to find in any of our what we call market leaders, not competitors, market leaders. Nectar, Bonusly, even Sherm. None of them are speaking about how love influences impact. And this is a behavioral science. This is not, again, something that we created to feel good. This is facts.
You're done? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, thank you. So, love what you're building, and I love the name. And like Chris said, obviously, and I'm getting to the meat, just like your energy, great. That always shakes up the room. It's great when you're, like if you ever are in an opportunity where you're pitching and it's like 10 companies pitching, you come on the stage with that energy, you automatically get attention just because it shakes things up. So keep that going. I think what you may want to consider, you know everything about your company. You have to parse out what to tell us and what to keep, because it can get confusing for us that have never heard of your company. We're trying to understand exactly what's going on. So I think as the founder, you'll just have to figure out what those key elements are to tell me so that I understand it without me getting confused or in the weeds. Okay? So you said on one of the first slides, you said, these are the companies on the screen. Some we've worked with, some we haven't. I immediately was like, oh, well, who has he worked with? Like, I was confused about which ones you had worked with, because those are big names. So if you've worked with some of them, here are some companies. These are the ones we've worked with. These are the ones we're targeting. I think that would just drive a little bit of clarity. The problem slide. On the problem slide, you can go back to it if you'd like to really quickly. You said love increased, something about 17% was up here. Yes, okay. That number looks okay, but the 450 to 550 billion, that really drew my attention. So I know you have the 17% highlighted, but in this case, the number may be something to highlight as opposed to 17%, because I was trying not to read it so that I could listen to you. And then, and I'm going through this quick, like, so, okay, because I know we're almost out of time here. My counterpart talked a long time. No, I'm just like, Chris is my boy. He knows that. Okay, you have good traction. You have really good traction, so keep that up. Here's another thing, and this kind of goes back to what I said originally. The quicker we can understand your product, the quicker you can get our buy-in. I was sad that I didn't start understanding the product until the end of the presentation, because then I had to go back and try to apply everything that I just learned to everything you said earlier. Exactly. The market slide, go to slide 10 real fast. Okay, listen, this slide makes sense. I will say that investors are used to seeing the market slide look a certain type of way. And it's kind of from the top down, and then your serviceable, obtainable. So I was trying to figure out, okay, total addressable, serviceable, monthly users. Oh, so he's saying this is how much he can get. Like, it just became like me trying to figure out what this slide was. So just, I love it, it's great, but just maybe look at some other market slides and maybe make it, right? Exactly, you got it. And there were some things you shared with Chris, and it was really helpful about, I'm trying to remember now because I didn't write it down, but just some things in the ecosystem that you're currently doing with customers. And all I'm going to say is add it to the pitch. I feel like some of the most important details you told us after the pitch, I want you to include some of that in the pitch, and then take out like any words. I always tell people, when you're preparing your pitch, take out any words that you can cross out, and then go explain it to like a 15-year-old or a 12-year-old. And if they can clearly tell you what you're doing, because we don't have any knowledge of your company, then you've probably picked out the most important parts of your company to share with new users. And you're just giving us enough to be interested, right? And then we can come back and ask questions later or set up a call. I know that was a lot really fast. But
Wasn't that fast.
It wasn't that fast? Whatever, Chris. But I think what you're doing is really cool, so keep it up.
All right, let's give it up for Dr. Black.